Hello, this is the Ramblings of an Indisciplined Mind podcast for Wednesday, June 8th, 2016. As of this recording, Sierra is still missing. Today's kind of a special day. My last nephew slash niece, in this case it's a nephew, but the last of that generation is graduating today. So I'm working a half day, so I'm working from home this morning. And so I thought I'd get a podcast out before we got to leave and head for the festivities. And today I thought I would do another comments episode. I have gotten a few comments, so I thought I would share those with you. So here we go with comments 3. On episode 496, The Breakfast Club, Gary commented, I remember seeing it before it was released. He was visiting his girlfriend that became his wife at Hope College, and we went to see The Flamingo Kid. When we bought the tickets, they gave us another piece of paper that had the picture from the movie poster for The Breakfast Club and something written on the paper. Once the first movie was over, someone came out and told us we were getting a treat and could stay to watch a new movie that was coming out soon. We were not disappointed. Still enjoy watching that movie after all these years. That would have been cool. I've never been able to do something like that. See something ahead of time. That would have been neat to do. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater as well, although mine would have been post-release, because I'm not one of the special people, Gary. I'm one of the ordinary folk. And then, okay, there we go. And then Gary commented on episode 503, Digital versus Paper. He says, when I'm reading for pleasure, I'll get a printed book if it's something I want to keep and try to check out a digital copy if it isn't. Anytime I'm trying to learn something, I'll go with a printed copy unless there's no other option. I like highlighting and writing notes on the pages when I study. That helps me to recall the material better. And I tend to agree with you, although I am kind of purposely shifting that a little bit. Like I did the ebook for the Covey stuff, and I needed that for class. And I could have written paper notes on it, but since Kindle gives you a nice way to highlight certain things, I pretty much highlighted stuff that I thought were key points on that. For the rest of the things that I was reading for the coursework, which were all things that were in PDF format, I actually took the time and I wrote notes, which I referred to a little bit for tests and stuff, but I think for the most part it helped me cement the knowledge in my brain, just the act of writing it. If it's something for pleasure, I will generally lean toward an ebook. Now, the thing is going to be that I will not pay $15.95 for an ebook. I generally won't pay over $10 for an ebook. And if I'm paying $10, if I'm paying really over $5, it's got to be something I really want. $5 is kind of the top for what I'm generally going to pay for an ebook. But I do buy paper sometimes when I might normally buy ebook, like Scott Sigler stuff. We tend to buy in paper just to kind of help further his career. So when somebody's doing something that I know and I want to help them out because I know paper is going to help them more than an ebook, I'll go ahead and buy paper. So like the latest series from Scott Sigler, we're even buying that paper. And I'm finding that I enjoy reading on paper a lot more now that I got the LASIK done. I don't have to use readers. So I've been doing a lot of library books recently for that. But I am sort of getting to be more and more digital based. Like I've been in the habit at work of creating a folder where I print out key things, and I'm kind of getting away from that and just doing digital. I don't need a paper folder that I have to carry around, carry here home if I'm working from home or whatever. I've really got everything on my computer anyway, and I thought, well, this is kind of silly. I can just keep that on the computer. So that's what I'm going to try for my next project, and we'll see how that goes. And then he commented on the big number 500 Numbers Day, and I guess I commented at one point that I was going to think about what am I going to do when I'm done with college? Am I going to continue this podcast? And he says, I vote for you to keep going. Your podcast is the best part of my daily commute, and I appreciate that. And then on episode 506, Wait Time. I'm trying to remember what this was about. it must have been about waiting for something. So he writes, Gary writes, this guy needs a lesson in statistics. When your biggest issues is wait time to get an appointment, that is what you need to use to measure the effectiveness of any changes you make. Granted, I'm no statistics whiz, but if I learn one thing in my statistics classes, that you have to use meaningful measurements. Customer satisfaction is so vague and subjective, you can't use it accurately to measure if they are making progress. So yes, I would agree with that statement. I think this was talking about the wait time for medical for the VA, if I remember correctly, and they were going to do based on customer satisfaction. So yeah, I would agree with that. It's obviously somebody's trying to cloud how well they're doing by using this vaguer way of trying to measure how they're doing, and I would agree with that all the time. Gary's going to try out the Myths and Legend podcast. Gary, leave me a note. Let me know how you like it. I'm still listening to it. I just downloaded an episode today. I'm looking forward to reading it because it's all about the Beauty and the Beast. So that'll be a cool one. It's always, I enjoy hearing the ones that I don't know, but it's also fun to hear the ones that I know or think I know, because there's always aspects. It's kind of like when you think you know the fairy tales, and then you go back and read the Brothers Grimm or something, and you find out, well, no, the original is a lot different. I always find that interesting to do. Episode 507, Stay on Target. Gary has also played through Tomb Raider. I believe he has finished it. So I was talking about trying to get through this bit of Tomb Raider, and he says, dude, there are so many witty comebacks and remarks I thought of for where you are in Tomb Raider. However, I won't, because most of them would be spoilers, and I won't do that to you again. Yes, again. This is the man who spoiled me on Darth Vader being Luke's father and Darth Vader being good in the end. These are black spots on his character that will never come out. So, just so you know. Suffice it to say that you are in for a pretty epic battle and finish to one of my favorite video games. And he's playing Uncharted at the time. So, I haven't looked into the Uncharted series much. I'm kind of thinking, I want to do Fallout 4. I'm also kind of thinking if maybe I should jump into Skyrim. I've done Oblivion. So I'm kind of thinking, should I do Skyrim maybe? Kind of get back into the Elder Scrolls area? I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I haven't decided. For episode 513, luxury items. And Gary says, I've never seen the sense of spending a lot of money for something I can get for less or free. Let those with all the money stimulate the economy by buying that stuff. I also quote the famous philosopher Spock, after a time, you may not have so pleasing a thing. After all, well, I think I screwed that up. Let me try that again. After a time, you may find that having is not so pleasing a thing as wanting. It is not logical, but often true. And yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. I'm into getting stuff for free when I can, like podcast hosting. I know a lot of people that shell out for Libsyn, and that's probably fine. But like for this podcast, I upload it to the Internet Archive, and it seems to work fine. I don't have a lot of downtime that I can tell. I'm uploading to it every stinking day, and people seem to be able to get to the episodes. So rather than pay, $10-15 a month, I do that because I'm kind of in the same mindset as Gary. Even though, we're living like no one else now, having all the debts paid off, including the house. Like, why pay for it if I don't have to? If I do that, something strange might happen to me, and that I might become rich because I got money. Anyway, last comment from Gary for episode 514, inclusive, and that was the one inclusive. I forget. I'll read his comment. Where shall I start? He says. I think in part that this mindset comes about with the creation of the No Child Left Behind program. Oh, yeah, this was the honor roll stalls. I'm with it. While the intent was to improve the quality of education, all it did in many cases was dumb it down to the lowest common denominator. If we stop awarding excellence, the name of not making those who can't or won't succeed feel left out, then we put our nation on the path to mediocrity. We lose the desire to be better, stand out, and make a difference. There are many paths to success, and each person should be able to find theirs and go with it. And I would agree with that. We need to recognize excellence. Just because one person is excellent and one person is less than excellent, that doesn't necessarily mean that the other person is a bad person, or that the excellent person who has achieved some form of excellence through their job or their studies or what have you, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily a better person than the person who didn't do as well on whatever that particular thing is. And that's the problem, and that's kind of where these kind of policies fall apart, I think, because they're trying to say, well, we can't recognize excellence because then that's going to, we're basically saying they're better people and we don't want to hurt the esteem of these other people. And I think that's a flawed concept. I really do. And I do remember last time I said I would like to have some comments or some sort of feedback from somebody other than Gary. I did get something. Yay! I from my Twitter friend John Wilkerson, who is at @JWilkers. He apparently sometimes listens to or watches the video version, and he said sometimes I like watching YouTube videos with the automatic closed captionings turned on, and so he posted a couple screen grabs with the closed captioning there. And so one of them said, after a sinister 2012 done capstone, writing this morning. And then the best one was the one that, the second one, where I apparently, or Google thinks I said, don't mind the fly trap economy crap guy. I don't know what I was saying, but I'm pretty sure flytrap economy crap guy probably was not what I was intending. I must not have been enunciating very well. But that was funny. Thanks, John. I appreciated that. That was made me laugh when I got it. So that's really all I have to cover today. That's comments 3 done in the bag. So I will be back on the road tomorrow. I'll be talking to you then. So be seeing you.